Greetings dear friends, welcome to today's lecture. In today's lecture, we shall look at some tricky questions on what we call the lowest common multiple, or what we shall be calling the LCM, and the highest common factor, what we shall be calling HCF. Let's go straight away. Question number 1 says, the LCM of two natural numbers is 590 and their highest common factor is 59. How many sets of values are possible? From the given information, we have the LCM as 590, which we can as well write as 59 times 2 times 5. We also have the highest common factor, which is 59. But we don't know the two natural numbers. Simply let us let 59 times A and 59 times B be the two numbers. For that case, we are calling this one 59 times A and this one 59 times B, simply because these two natural numbers must have the highest common factor as 59. In other words, when you are writing this number and this one here, their common factor must be 59. And for that case, it is important to make sure that our numbers that we are writing are multiples of 59. Now, we understand that we know that when you get the product of two numbers, we know that the product of two numbers is same as having the LCM of the two numbers times the highest common factor of the two numbers. If that is the case, since we already have our two numbers as 59A and 59B, let us have the product of these two numbers, which is equal to the LCM times the highest common factor. So we get 59 times A times 59 times B, which is equal to the LCM, which is 590, times HCF, which is 59. For that case, we can have 59 times A times 59 times B, which is same as 590, we have seen is same as 59 times 2 times 5. So we shall again multiply by 59. So you realize 59 is on both sides, so it will cancel out, and we shall simply remain with A times B, which is equal to 2 times 5. So AB is equal to 10. So we need the possible values of A and B, whose product will give us 10. For that case, we can have the possible values of A and B to be. So possible sets of A and B, whose product will be 10, can be 1 and 10. Then you can also have 2 and 5. Simply because when A is 1 and B is 10, when you get AB, it will give you 10. That is A 1 times 10. And when you get 2 times 5, it will also give you 10. So A can be 2 and B can be 5. So the possible sets of A and B is 1, 10, then 2 and 5. Therefore, the possible sets of values are, the first one, we have 59 times 2 and 59 times 5. That is when we consider this set here of 2 and 5. So either A, we are considering A as 2 and B as 5. You can also consider A as 5 and B as 2. You get the same set. So next, this is one set. The next set is when we consider 1 and 10. So that is 59 times 1 and 59 times 10. So these will be the two possible sets of values which will satisfy the given question. And for that case, our answer will be B, which is 2. So there are two sets of values, and for that case, our answer becomes 2. Question number 2 says, the highest common factor of two numbers A and B is simply 24, and the highest common factor of other two numbers C and D is 36. What will be the highest common factor of A, B, C, and D? Looking at the given information, we have the highest common factor of A and B, which is 24. We have the highest common factor of C and D, which is 36. So if we need the highest common factor of A, B, C, and D, we shall simply take the highest common factor of 24 and 36. And what is the highest common factor of 24 and 36? Highest common factor of 24 and 36 is simply 12. If you have 24, you have 36. The highest factor which will satisfy all the two will be simply 12. So 12 will be the answer. And from here, the given alternatives, you realize your 12 will be A. So A will be the answer for this question. In question number 3, we need to get the highest common factor of 0.3, 0.15, 0.225, 0.0003. So we shall look at each of these numbers. You realize that our smallest number in the given numbers is this one here, which is 0.0003. And when you look at this given alternative, 0.3, 0.3 is greater than this, 0.15 is greater than 0.0003, and 0.0015 is also greater than this. So it means if we need the highest common factor of all the four numbers, then that number must satisfy all the four numbers. But you realize all these alternatives here are actually greater than this number here, meaning that these ones here cannot be the highest common factor. And for that case, among these we shall choose the smallest number which will be divisible by all the numbers here. Now for that case, looking at this one being the smallest number, so we can say the smallest number is 0.0003, and it will divide all the other numbers properly, and it will divide all the numbers properly. For that case, we can say hence the HCF will simply be 0.0003. So for that case, our answer will be part A. Lastly, we look at question number 4. The LCM of 96, 144, and N is 576, whereas their highest common factor is 48. Then which of the following can be one of the values of N? What are we given? We have LCM of 96, 144, and N as 576. We have the highest common factor as 48. Now, we can have LCM of 96. We can express 96 as 2 to power 5 times 3. We can express 144 as 2 to power 4 times 3 to power 2. Then we can also have our N there, but the LCM of 96, 144, and N is 576, which we can also factorize as 2 to power 6 times 3 to power 2. So the LCM of this one and n is simply this. That is when we express them in terms of their factors. Now from here we can say n should actually be n should be 2 to power 6 times 3 to power 2, or n can be 2 to power 6 times 3 to power 1, or we can have n as 2 to power 6. We need that the LCM of this one and this is actually 576. So n has got different values. N can take up different values. For example, 2 to power 6 times 3 to power 2. That is simply 576. Because if you have 96, 144, and 576, the LCM of this will still remain 576. If you consider 2 to power 6, then 3 to power 1, this one here will give us 192. When you get 96, 144, and 192, this one will give you 576. Now, when you take 2 to power 6, 2 to power 6 will be 64. So when you take 96, 144, and 64, the LCM will still give us 576. So the LCM of all that will be 576. In other words, you realize that n can be this, n can be that, and n can be 64. Now, from all these given alternatives, then we need to also take in consideration the given highest common factor. So if the highest common factor is 48, will 576 satisfied, will 192 satisfied, or will 64 satisfy this given highest common factor? Now for that case, that is where we shall be able to get the values of n. Now we can say, however, it is given that the highest common factor is 48, which 48 we can express it as 2 to power 4 times 3. So when you look at 2 to power 4 times 3, which gives us 48, then look at all the alternatives that we are having. You realize this one has no 3 here, so it means this one will be out. This is 2 to power 6 times 3 to power 1, which means this one will satisfy. 2 to power 6 times 3 to power 2, this one will not satisfy because this will be 3 to power 2 already, but the highest power of 3 must be 1. So in other words, we look at the value which is having the form 2 to power 4 times 3 to power 1, and that value there will be 2 to power 6 times 3 to power 1. So clearly we can say that 2 to power 6 times 3 to power 1, which is actually 192, will be one of the values of n which will satisfy the given question. Thank you so much, dear friends, for keeping on TV Math Hub. Please like, share, and comment. We meet in our next lectures.
Yeah.